My name is Kevin. This is a story about my life to date. Has been an amazing journey of adventure and some challenges along the way, and also some heartbreak. I was raised in the Hawaiian Islands as a child, well, most of my childhood, between Oahu and Maui. Our home was 52 steps from the high water mark of the ocean, so a lot of my time was spent exploring the ocean, the coastlines, some of the valleys and mountains behind us. And what would seem to many to be an idyllic setting or childhood was actually full of challenge. I came from a family that was broken up twice. My parents, though loving, were very disengaged. Didn't spend much time together at all. And as a result, I found solace exploring and also going to friends' houses a lot. And I learned that helping a lot and being very cordial actually won the favor and of parents that were always saying, well, why don't you come spend the night anytime? But to the chagrin of my friends that said, you're making it hard for us. I just remember being very lonely at times, always looking for some stability in my life with family. When we moved to Maui, changing schools is extremely difficult. One school I went to, I was spit on by the little kids and then bullied by the big kids. I actually became friends with a lot of the people, and within a few months I was accepted by most. But these all put this pressure on me, always looking for some kind of stability in my life. My parents used to send us off to the grandparents every summer or send us off to these various places so they could have more time, I guess. And one of them was I went to a vacation Bible school. It was about a 5-day, and I remember that it was the first introduction I had into any form of who and what a relationship with Christ was. It started a foundation, and I remember even at 12 years old being moved to tears by realizing there was something more than this kind of broken world that I had. And I just recall what joy it finally gave me, something to hold on to and have hope in. But I really realized now that without mentorship, without support, and without any type of fellowship, it's very difficult to navigate that as a 12-year-old. When our family was broken, a real stressful time was I lived in a house with maybe 15 other people that were, for better terms, hippies, always all trying to find their self-realization in Eastern philosophy and a number of things. And I remember all I wanted was some form of stability. The school I went to was later in life, was actually quite good in some ways, but a challenge being a believer and having the school culture revolve around drugs and sex and various other things. So it was challenging for me. I moved to San Diego just as a stepping stone from what my career was, and I've been here ever since. One of the things I was going into was restaurant management and consulting, and I was disillusioned by it, being a regional manager for a short time, and then I went to Scripps Institute and was going to be an oceanographer, and that didn't work out. I eventually found I loved helping people, and I went into public service with the city of San Diego. I met what I thought was going to be some stable family, got married, had 3 kids, and a shock to me and devastated my world as I was served divorce papers, from blindsided with it, had no idea. And it sent me in kind of a deep spiral, wondering, why, God, why can't I have some form of stability in my life? Why can't I? And it was a huge challenge for me. Despite all these challenges, when I look back, it's amazing that God put these people in my life that I had to reflect on at these perfect times that planted little seeds that were actually this amazing form of love. And the thing that astounds me now more than anything is how much God really loves us and involved in our life. His mercy and grace is profound. The healing that took place, what was hard for me was to kind of add insult to injury. I was in court a lot, lost so much, and without reflecting on it too much, it just, again, was so devastating. But then there's the good part of it, that the silver lining, and that's that by God's grace and some key people, I learned to put all that heartache and all those things that I was hoping for and looking for and needed in life, to learn to put them on the altar on the cross. And those things were the things that really changed me. And it started to bring maturity in my life. I started to have some mentors in my life and was discipled and grew and mature. And what I realized more than anything else is the thing we long for most of us, to have some purpose, to have some form of being accepted and loved, and to have more of a deeper understanding of life. The only place I know you can ever find that is when you start to realize what it is to have a passion and love for Christ. And then comes the change and the real maturing change in your life. I am so thankful in so many ways. And I would say that the most exciting time of my life is now, because one of the things you realize is that normally we're looking in for the things that we need in life. Like, if I just had this, or it would help me, or I'm fearful about this, or whatever it may be. The one thing you realize more than anything else is that when Christ starts to change you, you start looking upward and outward. Meaning I'm looking first to Christ for all things. And then what I'm also doing is I'm looking outward and how I can pour into people. And that's when you know the real change comes. And it fills every deepest desire and fulfills all those things. Now, that doesn't mean there's not going to be challenges along the way more, but it does start to change your life. And I am so thankful that I have the most exciting life I've ever had. I have an amazing, beautiful wife, and all these blessings around me are profound. Even though there's still some challenges, you realize that life really begins when we really put all our trust and passion and love with Christ.